path.
The only thing that sucked about Breath of the Wild, okay, two things I liked about it. Well, I already mentioned the weapons. The only thing I liked about it is they don't give a fucking reward for getting all the Korok seeds, which is just like, thank God. They make it very clear that like Korok seeds are for you to just run into. One thing I don't like is all of the grinding you have to do for certain items and stuff. It just feels too MMO-y in a single player game. The fact that you have to, like, I had to get like a bunch of flying dragon talons, like multiples. Listen, when I first saw that fucking flying lightning dragon late at night when you're walking around and you hit it with an arrow and get the scale, it feels so sick. And if I could bring that scale to a shop and make sick armor, that would be a great story. But then you go to the shop and it's like you need like 14 of these. And it's like, what are you fucking doing? You just took all the fun out of that moment. That moment was so sick.
Through the world,
I would change that.
A pretty important factor in an adventure. This is very different to previous Zelda games, but also to most other open world games, which feature a rather linear story made up of mandatory main quests, where your only choice is to either follow it or delay following it. But I think Zelda gets around this in
I never
a clever
beat God
way.
of War.
You can take on Ganon at any point, but because you'll like...
Wait, is God of War on PC now? It's coming to PC. It's coming to PC. Okay, sick.
Get killed before you can even approach Hyrule Castle, you're not delaying your showdown with the big bad, you're training for it. Which means everything you do in the game is in preparation for that fight.
That is sick.
Zelda shatters that barrier between following the story and doing side activities because everything you do is relevant. Another thing Zelda does differently to most other open world games is in how much information it gives you about the world. Which is to say, hardly any. This doesn't litter your map with icons for nearby activities, side quests, and collectibles. Instead, you have to find all of that stuff yourself, and this means you are led through the world not by icons and waypoints, but by your own curiosity.
Bro, one other great thing about this was that I played Breath of the Wild. At the time it came out, I was traveling a lot for Twitch, and so I was playing it only on planes. And so I really did play this game well. I don't know. This game has a really soft spot in my heart because I feel like I was constantly like just exploring. I was playing it very intended.
It's also important that you can always go where your curiosity leads you.
I do remember when I was like, I don't know, when did Oblivion come out, dude? My brother and I booted it up on the Xbox, and you come out of that first little rat dungeon, and I had heard the game was open world. And I remember looking out at a mountain and a million miles away. And I was like, let's go there. Me and my brother. And we just walked. And we just walked and walked. And we got there. We got where we went. We went up in the mountain. And it was like, I don't know. To me, that was like so sick. I was like, this is so fucking sick. We were blown away. And then we started fighting over who got to play for the next fucking month. It was a big problem.
By the way, Zelda makes it really fun to traverse Hyrule. Exploration is always encouraged when it's fun to move around. But Breath of the Wild shows that letting players get pummeled by killer enemies
is so fun.
Is no bad thing. In the game,
it's so fun. This is the worst part about fucking Skyrim. This is the part I hate about Skyrim so much. Why the fuck did they scale the levels to your current level? The whole world feels samey. Bro, it is so cool to just wander off the map and find a fucking big-ass dragon monster that's way stronger than you. Like, kicks your ass. And then you come back a few days later and you're way stronger and you beat it and you feel like a fucking badass. I think it's one of the worst decisions in game design history.
Immediately, the world no longer felt like a playground to enjoy, but a daunting world to survive, much more conducive to an adventure. Breath of the Wild also uses those tough enemies, as well as steep walls and harsh climates, to discourage you from exploring the map in one go and immediately seeing everything the game has to offer. Unlike some games, Zelda is perfectly playable without this help, as characters give directions, the map features place names, and most forks in the road.